Hey, yeah, you, come a little closer. Not because I need you to hear me louder, but because this part is only for people who can handle the truth without flinching. Everybody else danced around it, softened it, watered it down, because saying it out loud changes things. But you've already noticed the pressure, haven't you? That strange heat in your chest when you walk into a room, like the air knows your name before anyone speaks it. Here's what nobody said. The shift isn't private anymore. Whatever you've been becoming in silence has started leaking into the world. Not as gossip, as proof, as a signal. And the people who were comfortable when you were quiet, they're suddenly careful with their words, suddenly watching from the edges, suddenly acting like they never doubted you. Call it coincidence if you want. But deep down, you know something about you just went public. Like a headline slipping across screens, reaching people who never knew your story existed. Now let's talk about the moment you felt it, because you did feel it. Listen, people don't announce it when they start feeling you differently. They show it in the micro movements. The pause before they answer, the extra blink, the way their eyes land on you, like they're searching for the version of you they used to manage. You've seen it. The same room that once looked through you now makes space. The same mouths that stayed bold when you were quiet now choose their words like they're carrying glass. Not because you're famous, because you're present. You're heavier in your own skin. Even strangers pick up the signal. They glance twice, then act normal, because admitting they notice, you would admit you changed for good now. It hits first as sensation. Warmth on your face for no reason, a tightness in your chest that isn't fear, more like pressure before a storm breaks. Then the calm arrives, steady behind your eyes, like your nervous system finally realized it doesn't have to beg to be safe. They thought your kindness meant access. They thought your silence meant permission. But something in you rearranged. Your posture got honest. Your gaze stopped apologizing. Your no started sounding like a full sentence. That's why the curiosity shows up out of nowhere. Old names popping up, random check-ins, people circling your life like they missed a memo. And here's the memo. You didn't disappear, you were loading. And the wild part is, this didn't start when you got loud. It started when you got still. Here's the part that changes everything. International doesn't mean cameras and passports. It means your standard stopped fitting inside the old rooms. Your energy used to whisper. Now it carries. It rides in the way you leave a conversation early, the way you don't explain yourself twice, the way your silence no longer begs for approval. People repeat your name like a reference point, not because you ask them to, but because their memory keeps tagging you as the moment things got real. It spreads through screens and group chats, through a cousin mentioning you at dinner, through an old friend catching your profile and feeling that sting. Not because you're chasing attention, because your presence has a signature now. You can feel it when you walk outside. The air is sharper. Your shoulders sit differently. Your heartbeat is steady, like it finally has a plan. They thought you would stay local, stuck in the same circle, same role, same shrinking routine. But you became the kind of person who changes the temperature in a room just by refusing to play small. That's why you can't be put back where you were. Once people have seen you standing taller, they can't unsee it. Once you've tasted peace, you can't pretend chaos is normal again. And that's the danger for them. You are becoming obvious. Not lucky, not randomly blessed, obvious. Your results, your boundaries, your calm, your refusal to be baited, it all announces itself, like a signal crossing old borders, reaching people who don't even know your history, yet somehow recognize the force behind it. And the more you are tried to keep it quiet, the more life broadcasts you through everything. So why are they acting weird about it? Because they remember who they were when you were small. Watch how fast the air changes when you stop begging to be understood. You felt it. Those little pauses, the polite smiles that don't reach the eyes, the sudden respect that shows up late. That reaction has a name. They. They isn't one person. It's a category. It's the ones who doubted you out loud, and the ones who supported you only when it cost them nothing. It's the opportunists who reappear when your life looks brighter. It's the energy drainers who call it concern when they really mean control. It's the quiet competitors who clap with their hands and envy with their stomach. It's even old versions of people who only knew you as the one who would tolerate anything. Here's the part they don't understand. Your power isn't the win. It's the shift behind the win. They thought your kindness was a leash. They thought your silence was surrender. But you became self-defined, and now you move like someone who doesn't negotiate with disrespect. That scares them because you're no longer predictable. They can't bait you into explaining. They can't guilt you into shrinking. They can't read you off old patterns, because your nervous system isn't living in panic anymore. There's a calm behind your eyes that makes manipulators hesitate. There's heat in your chest that isn't rage. It's certainty, so they watch, they test. They fish for access with casual messages and fake nostalgia. They try to place you back in the box where they felt safe, but the box doesn't fit you now. And that mismatch makes them act strange. Because if you can choose yourself once, you can choose yourself again. And their influence expires the moment you stop asking for permission in your life. Let's name the real trigger. It wasn't your success. It was your boundary. Listen, this did not happen overnight. It happened at 2:13 a.m. with your phone face down, your stomach tight, your mind replaying a conversation you should not even care about anymore. It happened in the drafts folder, paragraphs you typed, erased, typed again, then deleted, because you realized explaining yourself was just another way of begging. It happened in the bathroom mirror when you practiced breathing like you were not falling apart, then walked back out and handled your day anyway. You rebuilt without an audience. You learned to sit in quiet that used to feel like punishment until it started feeling like protection. You stopped announcing plans to people who only listened so they could doubt you. You stopped asking for clarity from the same mouths that specialized in confusion. You watched patterns, who vanished when you needed support, who appeared when you looked useful, who smiled while measuring you. Some nights you spiraled so hard you could taste metal in your mouth. Some mornings you got up with eyes swollen and still chose discipline over drama. You read, you worked, you prayed, you trained. You are cut noils, nobody group chats, apologies, late replies that were disrespect and lazy. You did not make speeches, you made exits. You started deleting people in the softest way, no fights, no announcements, just distance. You stopped answering calls that left your hands shaking. You unfollowed what made you hate yourself. You took your own side in arguments no one heard. You learned to eat, sleep, and move like you mattered, even when you did not feel it yet. And every time you chose peace over proving a point, Your presence got louder. That is the part they never see. The private version of you sweating through the healing, swallowing the urge to chase, teaching your heart to stop running back to what hurt it. You became your own witness. You took notes on what triggers you, what calms you, what makes you fold, what makes you rise. And slowly, without fireworks, your standards hardened into steel. So when they look at you now and feel that difference, it is not magic. It is receipts. It is every silent decision that turned pain into discernment. You did not disappear. You were loading. And while you were loading, they were writing a story about you that no longer fits. Listen, your silence was never empty. It was loaded. It was the pause before the upgrade, the quiet where you stopped leaking energy into people who didn't deserve access. They watched you go quiet and thought they were watching you lose. They didn't realize you were collecting yourself. They thought your silence meant you ran out of words. But you ran out of patience. They thought your silence meant you accepted the disrespect. But you were mapping exits. They thought your silence meant you were scared of confrontation. But you were choosing precision. They thought your silence meant you were broken. But you were rebuilding off camera. They thought your silence meant compliance. But it was strategy. Because when you stop explaining, manipulators lose oxygen. When you stop reacting, the bait rots in their hands. You learned that the loudest power move is not an argument. It's composure. The calmer you got, the harder you became to steer. At first it felt unnatural, didn't it? Like holding your breath while everyone waited for you to snap. Your chest would tighten. Your throat would burn. Your fingers would itch to type the message that finally clears your name. But you started sitting in that discomfort until it stopped being fear and started being control. You started letting your heart beat slow before you answered. You started watching faces while you stayed quiet, watching who panicked when you didn't perform. And that's when the truth showed itself. Some people don't want communication. They want a reaction. They don't want clarity. They want leverage. They don't want peace. They want you emotionally available for their chaos. Your silence took away their favorite tool, access to your nervous system. You refined yourself in the quiet. You learned which conversations were traps. You learned the difference between curiosity and interrogation. You learned that not everyone deserves the details of your life, especially the ones who used your honesty as ammunition. You became selective, and selection looks like arrogance to people who benefited from your openness. So while they were assuming you were shrinking, you were sharpening. While they were celebrating your absence, you were studying your patterns. While they were calling you too much, you were learning to be exact. And now, when you walk into the same spaces, you don't enter looking for permission. You enter like someone who knows what they bring and what it costs to access it. That's why your silence scares them now. It's not emptiness. It's warning. It's restraint. It's the sound of someone who finally trusts themselves more than the room. And you can feel the power settling in. Now that the old story is collapsing, watch what happens next. They start scrambling. Now they start scrambling. Not loud, slick, not obvious, not messy. The sudden check-in that pretends it is casual. The just thought of you. Message at midnight like they did not ignore you for months. The forced compliment that lands too late, too sweet, too rehearsed. You can hear the panic under the politeness because your certainty makes old games feel unsafe. Watch the behaviors stack up. They ask curious questions with a smile that does not match their eyes. So what are you doing now? Who are you with? How did you do it? Then they follow it with passive aggression. A little joke meant to shrink you back. Or they copy you, your phrases, your style, your boundaries, then act like it was always their idea. Some pretend history changed. They talk to you like they were always in your corner, like they never doubted, never mocked, never disappeared when you needed them. They test the new you with tiny disrespect, just to see if the old you still lives there. But you do not bite. You do not explain. You do not chase the last word. You let silence do the work. That is what they are reacting to. Not your posts, not your noise, not some performance. They are reacting to the fact that you move like you already decided. You walk in and the atmosphere edits itself without you trying. People sit up straighter. Conversations rearrange. The bravest mouths get cautious because certainty is contagious, and it exposes who was only confident when you were unsure. And the part that gets them is they cannot admit what is happening, so they label it luck, anything but growth. Meanwhile, you feel heat on your skin and calm in your chest at the same time. Like power finally found a stable home. You did not disappear, you were loading, and now your presence is a receipt they cannot argue with. Every boundary you set becomes a rumor, then a lesson, then a warning. And here's what makes it international. It doesn't stay in one room, it multiplies. International isn't a location, it's a reach. It's what happens when your standards get so solid that they start correcting the temperature of every space you enter. You don't have to announce anything. You just decide, and the decision travels. It shows up in your posture, in the way you don't rush to prove yourself, in the calm response that used to be a trigger for you. That calm is a broadcast. Your frequency travels through small choices. You don't tolerate the same jokes. You don't accept the same half-love. You don't return to dynamics that require you to shrink. And people around you feel it like a signal interrupting their routine. Some rise to meet it. Some resent it. But either way, you've changed the baseline. That's the ripple effect. Once one person stops negotiating with disrespect, it makes everyone else look at what they've been normalizing. Once one person walks away without begging, it gives others permission to detach. Once one person chooses peace over performance, it exposes how much noise was never necessary. You become proof that a different life is possible, and proof is louder than motivation. They can't erase that, because it isn't a rumor anymore. It's a pattern people notice. Your name comes up when someone talks about boundaries. Your story gets referenced when someone is trying to find courage. Not because you're perfect, but because you became consistent. The old version of you was easy to predict. This version is governed by self-respect. Here's the line they hate. Because it explains everything, you're not hard to love. You are hard to control. And when control stops working, all the old tactics look childish. They can't guilt you the same. They can't bait you the same. They can't minimize you the same. Because your confidence keeps expanding, and expansion doesn't ask permission. So let them whisper. Let them scroll. Let them pretend they don't see it. Your broadcast has left the building. So what do you do when the attention finds you? When the old hiding places don't fit? Don't go back to being convenient. Not after you finally learned what it costs. The new you doesn't argue for a seat at tables built to starve you. You walk past them with your head steady and your hands clean. You move in silence, but not in hiding. Silence with clarity. You speak when it matters, and when it doesn't, you let the pause do the talking. Stop over-explaining. Explanations are for people who care. Excuses are for people who accuse. You don't hand your truth to anyone who will twist it. You choose distance over revenge, not because you're weak, but because you're disciplined. Revenge keeps you tethered. Distance sets you free. Carry your visibility like weight training. Protect your sleep like it's sacred. Protect your peace like it's payroll. If a conversation steals your breath and tightens your chest, that's your body voting no. If someone requires you to shrink, that's your spirit warning you. You don't negotiate with the signs anymore. You respond, let results speak. Let consistency speak. Let your calm be the loudest thing in the room. The ones who want access will earn it. With respect, the ones who want control will reveal themselves the moment you stop performing. You're not here to be understood by everyone. You're here to be aligned with yourself. Every boundary you hold rewrites your whole life. Because the real ending isn't them panicking. The ending is you finally deciding what access cost. You remember when you felt invisible, like your effort evaporated the moment you left the room. You remember how easy it was for them to dismiss you, to talk over you, to treat your kindness like a doorway. That version of you isn't gone, it's honored, but it's not in control anymore. Now you move with authority, not loud, not cruel, clear. You don't chase replies. You don't beg for clarity. You don't audition for love. You take up space like someone who finally believes their life belongs to them. So if they are not ready, good. Let them be shocked. Let them be confused. Let them rewrite history in their heads. You're done shrinking to protect fragile egos. Say it one last time and mean it. You didn't disappear, you were loading. And what loaded into you was discipline, discernment, and a self-respect they can't negotiate with. Walk forward. The world will adjust, or it will burn. Let them call it international. You call it inevitable.